You get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Alexa!
And the greatest driver.
Nolan!
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Alexa
owes me $5.
Oh, sorry.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, Jimmy. We do have a few safety rules to go over. If you look up on the top of the tram, you'll see a cord running straight through the middle. That's our emergency E-cord. If you have a medical emergency, drop something off the side of the tram, or have any sound or video issues, pull that cord. I'll be back to assist you as soon as possible. Number 2, please stay seated while the tram is in motion.
Good.
Come on, Frank, no smoking, man. No smoking on the tram. Sorry. Number 4, be prepared for any loud noises. Fire effects. Sudden tram movements or water effects. If you are sitting in a blue seat, you do have the possibility of getting wet. Alright guys, now on our special nighttime studio tour, you'll have the opportunity to see our studios in a whole new light. Alright guys, coming up right on the bottom of the hill to your left, you'll see Soundstage 12. This is the largest soundstage on our front lot, and it's currently home to NBC's hit singing competition, The Voice. Check out Soundstage 12. Soundstage 12 has been home to some of the most iconic films in movie history. Alright guys, now we are taking you even farther through our front lot, taking you from our biggest soundstage, Soundstage 12, to our busiest. This is Soundstage 25, which was recently used to film CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, starring Ted Danson and Elizabeth Shue. Now, CSI was such a big production, it actually took up 4 of our sound stages, Soundstage 25, 24, 23, and 22. Coming up on our left, the doors of Soundstage 22 are actually open right now, so you can take a little peek inside of what a real soundstage looks like. Now, these big doors on the outside of our sound stages are what we call elephant doors. They're called elephant doors because back in the early days of filmmaking, a lot of times animals were used in silent films, so much so we had a zoo on the lot. So those doors have to be big enough to fit an entire elephant, so we just kept the name elephant doors. Alright, coming up on your left, you'll see Soundstage 27, which is home to the Mindy Project. The Mindy Project just finished its 3rd season on Fox, and it's coming back for its 4th season on Hulu very, very soon, so be sure to check that out. Now, the Mindy Project is part of Universal Television, and along with Universal Studios, it's part of an even larger TV network, NBC Universal, an entertainment powerhouse that brings you channels such as NBC, Sci-Fi, USA, Bravo, Telemundo, the Golf Channel, CNBC, MSNBC, the Weather Channel, Oxygen, the Esquire Network, and NBC Sports, just to name a few. Now, if you take a look to your right, you'll see some minions welcoming us to Soundstage 44, which was recently used to film scenes from Furious 7 starring Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel. Aw, yeah. Now, if you look to your left, you'll see Ted welcoming us with a martini to our production bungalows, you guys. Coming up on your left-hand side are the production offices of some of Hollywood's biggest directors, writers, producers, even some of Hollywood's biggest actors have their auditions right in these bungalows. Now, before they were production offices, they served as dressing rooms for some of the biggest stars we had here under contract, such as Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Lucille Ball, and Jimmy Stewart, all had their dressing rooms in these bungalows. Now, coming up again to your left is Bungalow 5195. Now, you may recognize a familiar silhouette next to the door. That's because that used to be the office of the incredible Alfred Hitchcock, director of such films as The Birds, Vertigo, and Psycho, and it's currently home to the De Laurentiis Company, which brings the legend of Hannibal Lecter to the big and small screens. Alright guys, we are now approaching my favorite part of the tour. We are entering the back lot, where the world is literally just around the corner, you guys. This is where we shoot the big stuff. Exterior shots on a very large scale. If you look to your right, you'll see our city skyline. Our city skyline backdrop includes skylines from a bunch of different cities. Now, sometimes here at Universal Studios, we have to film nighttime scenes during the day. Take a look at how we transform these sets into the night, but during the day. On your right is our Brownstone Street. That's where Jim Carrey lived in Bruce Almighty. It is also seen as Rosamund Pike's apartment in Gone Girl. Alright, you guys, now this is a very exciting part of our nighttime tour, especially today, because today marks the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future. And where better to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Back to the Future than Hill Valley itself, folks. On our left, you'll see Courthouse Square, which is definitely most recognizable from Back to the Future. Alright guys, we're now taking you from the small town of Hill Valley to the Big Apple, New York City. Now we are entering our New York Street, where we have our very own Broadway theaters and our very own Macy's. It's like we took 34th Street and put it right here in Southern California. But you know, 60 years ago, some of the most iconic images of the 20th century were created on top of a subway grate in New York City. Hey Marilyn, how about some pictures? Anything for my fans.
Oh, do you hear that? Don't you just love the breeze from the subway? Oh, hello,
awesome. Now, if you take a look to your left and right, you'll get an up-close peek at our New York streets. Now, all of these sets are what we call facades, which is French for front. Facades means false front, and that means we only build the front and the sides of buildings, only what the camera can see, and we let your imagination fill in the rest. Now, what may look like breaker stone is actually just styrofoam and plexiglass. Now, along with New York City, these streets have been used as many other cities as well, such as London for Austin Powers, yeah baby, and also as Chicago for the Blues Brothers.
When the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. We dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago, not a good idea.
When people ask me of all of the movies I've ever done, what is the most satisfying or the most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive and train with the best stunt people in the world, and got to be an actor and a writer. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's Guest because this dude walked into anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing, we couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him and saw a light on in this one house in October.
He said, sir, we're doing a movie down here, we're looking for one of our actors. Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago, he's sleeping. He was America's Guest, and he literally that.
Alright guys, so as I mentioned before, sometimes we do have to film nighttime scenes during the day, and that's exactly what we had to do for Streets of Fire, where the lighting and grip department created over a mile of special black fabric to completely cover our entire metro sets during the day so they could film those nighttime scenes. And just about every star in Hollywood had walked down these streets at one time or another. Now, you may think, okay, yeah, this could be New York, this could be Chicago. However, the stuff we do to make it look like a real city street is really incredible. If you look to the sidewalks in our metro sets, you'll see these square grates. We can remove those, add a fog machine, add some special lighting, and this very street looks like a dark, ominous, and foggy New York City street. Now, this street has also been used in many Universal superhero movies, such as Transformers, Captain America, and the Amazing Spider-Man. That glass and steel building behind us, if you look back, you'll see that massive glass and steel building. That was used as Oscorp. So we are in the territory of many famous superhero stars. So many people have worked right here on our back lot, including legendary director Steven Spielberg.
When I was about, 16 years old, and I began hanging out at Universal during my summers. When I went to college nearby, I continued to come on the lot and try to become a director. Universal sort of is my birthplace. This is the place I consider my first home, and I love it here. And I keep coming back.
Now, along with many Spielberg-directed projects, these very streets have been home to many Oscar award-winning projects. Take a look at your screens to see some of the most famous Oscar Award winning Universal Pictures filmed right here on our back lot.
I'm bad. I'm not bad, no. I'm rotten.
My knight in shining armor. Don't you forget it. I will have poetry in my life. And adventure. And I'm great with people. I have kids. Learned a lot right there.
You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view. Give him a good one. Give him a good one. I'm the one to beat. You know what? I'm going my own way. And I say, we have got to give them hope.
I dreamed a dream, time gone
Alright guys, take a look to your right. That is what happened when I tried to drive the tram. Not good. Now many of our famous Universal Pictures also use cars to really create the world of the films. Now any car that's used in a film or television show, commercial, or music video is what we call a picture car. Take a look. Entering the Universal Studios Transportation Department, which is now home to some of the most iconic cars from Universal Pictures. We have KITT from Knight Rider, Tom Selleck's Ferrari from Magnum PI, cars from Back to the Future and Back to the Future Part 2. On the other end of the time spectrum, cars from the Flintstones. Of course, cars from Too Fast, Too Furious in the Fast and Furious franchise. And we just added these 2 new cars at the end from Jurassic World, including the Gyrosphere. Now here at the very end of the line, we have 2 picture cars and a picture tank from Transformers. Now that tank was actually built out of wood and just painted to look like metal, so it was easier to transport around the film sets. Now, we've passed a lot of cars from our famous franchises here at Universal Studios, but another one of our franchises takes us to an island off of the coast of Costa Rica.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
That's right, guys. Jurassic Park. Many of its scenes, shots, everything were filmed right here at Universal Studios. How many people have seen Jurassic World? Aw, yeah! Well, if you haven't, here's a little sneak peek.
What's up, Universal Studios Hollywood?
Oh, he's cute.
I'm Chris Pratt. Check out a sneak peek of my new movie, Jurassic World, opening June 12th.
All right, guys, we are now entering the world of Jurassic Park. You'll be able to see picture cars, props, even the mobile lab from the iconic films.
Evacuate the island.
Here on your left is the mobile lab from Jurassic Park. And oh, nothing like enjoying your evening with a little dinosaur spit. That's what I like to say. Now, if you look to your left, you'll see some big tree stumps. Now, these trees are actually not real. They were made by our greenery department out of styrofoam and chicken wire. Now, here at Universal Studios, we do have our own greenery department, which, with the use of plants, helps create the world of films. I know plants seem like a little detail, but it really does make a big difference. So, let's say they're filming like a winter scene, but it's nice and hot and sunny like California is. So we'd call our greenery department to bring us in trees that look more like winter trees, so no leaves or anything. And the same goes for spring. We can create any season we'd like just by using our greenery department. Now, another way we create the world for films is by creating our own weather circumstances. And here to tell you about the weather on today's tour is Al Roker.
Here's today's forecast for the Universal backlot. It's going to be sunny and dry at 6 Points, Texas. Cool and cloudy in Little Europe. Expect snow and sleet on New York Street. And we've got a high chance of fog and precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island, and Isla Nublar. That's your forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on in your neck of the lot.
Alright guys, we are entering into Old Mexico. Al said there's going to be a flash flood. That's kind of weird. Anyways, so we're soon going to show you exactly how we create real weather for the movies. Now, what we do is we have an overhead sprinkler system that you'll be able to see in just 1 second that shoots water up into the air. We let it fall down naturally, and it creates the effect of real rain, and that's exactly how it works in the movies. Now, in the film Singing in the rain effect was not quite able to be picked up on the screen, so they actually had to use milk instead of water for Singing in the Rain, so technically they were singing in the milk. Alright guys, now we are going to give you a demonstration of exactly how to create rain for the movies. Just add lightning effects, our overhead sprinkler system, and a little movie magic. We've got a real rainstorm. Oh man, we've got some thunder going on. This is awesome. Oh man, so Al Roker said there was going to be a flash flood. It just looks like a little rain to me, so we're fine. There's nothing to worry about. Oh no. Oh, watch out, car 3! Don't worry, car 1, we're safe up here. Alright guys, Al and I were playing a little trick on you. That was actually the result of thousands of gallons of water being poured down the hill from our giant water tanks. But don't you worry, because that water is recycled and sent straight to the drinking fountains at Disneyland, so it's all good. Now we're entering the drier part of Old Mexico, which you may recognize from The Three Amigos, starring Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short, and Nacho Libre, starring Jack Black. Now, where do we go as the sun is setting? What is a better place than 6 Points, Texas? Howdy y'all, and welcome. This is where we shot some of the most classic Western films over the days. You could have seen the likes of Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne moseying down these streets. But at night, this saloon on your left is just as wild as ever. Alright folks, I think we're gonna mosey on out of here ourselves. Now if you take a look quickly to your left, you'll see that body of water. That is our Park Lake, which was the star of The Creature of the Black Lagoon. It played the Black Lagoon. It's also been used in Psycho 2. And now we're entering an area known as Little Europe, and it can be used as Germany, Spain, London, France, anywhere in Europe you want to go, we can create right here. And it was also the home to some of Universal Studios' most famous monsters. Now, some of the most famous monsters got their start right here in Little Europe. The year was 1931. The film was Frankenstein. And right now, you could almost hear the angry villagers. Alright guys, now to your right is our Court of Miracles, which has been home to more Universal monsters than anywhere on our lot. This is where they filmed Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Bride of Frankenstein, and even both the English and Spanish versions of Dracula. Take a look. Now they filmed both versions of Dracula at the same time, the English during the day and the Spanish at night, using the exact same set.
I never drink. Why? Yo nunca bebo.
Alright guys, now we are taking you inside of a real soundstage, Soundstage 50. Now this is a real hot set, which means it's all dressed and ready to go for filming. Now this is where they recently filmed an episode of Bones. Check it out. If you take a look at your screens, you'll see the area of Bones they decorated as a San Francisco subway station, and that's exactly how it looks right now.
President of the FBI?
FBI, yeah, we're here about the new remains.
That's him. Clear with it.
I think it was just a treasure, nothing to worry about. Alright guys, I don't know about you, but after that earthquake, I'm gonna need a little vacation. What about you guys? Yeah. Alright, well we're in luck because we are about to go to a small New England town called Amity Island. Now you may think, wasn't that the town that was attacked by a man-eating shark in Jaws? Well yes, but don't worry, the shark has been caught. Now, on our nighttime tour, it's really cool because in Jaws, Steven Spielberg used a lot of nighttime effects to really make it even scarier and creepier than it already was. Now, Spielberg used nighttime scenes to increase the terror of his film, like when a young girl is attacked during a midnight swim or when Richard Dreyfuss goes diving in search of a lost fisherman. Now you guys, like I said, the shark has been caught, which you can see. My friend Pete is in the water now, just taking one last check for us, so we should be all good. Wait, oh, you guys, I think they got the wrong shark. Pete, come on, no, oh, for Pete's sake. Oh no, he had a lot of guts to be in there. This is not good. Okay, lucky for us, we have prepared for this. There is a barrel of bait at the end of the pier. The shark will take that. Okay, he's taking the bait and he's taking the whole pier with him. Oh, okay. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire!
What's happening today?
Now I know what you guys may be thinking. That shark looked pretty fake up close. Then why were you guys screaming so loud back there? I saw you, Carrefour. I saw you. Now that mechanical shark worked just fine, but the one in the actual film of Jaws did not work so well. The first day of filming, Steven Spielberg put the mechanical shark into the ocean, and it sunk all the way down to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, prompting the cast and crew to nickname the film Flaws. Now you may also recognize this village we are passing to your left, right behind that water, as Cabot Cove from the hit show Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury. Alright guys, now if you take a look to your left, you'll see one of our oldest parts of the lot. This is Elm Street. You'll see a yellow house at the very end with a green roof. That was Boo Radley's house in the hit movie, the classic To Kill a Mockingbird, starring Gregory Peck and Robert Duvall. Now up here on your right on this hill we have our Universal Chicken Ranch. This is an example of a practical set where, unlike the facades we saw in New York Street, right here you can actually film on both the inside and the outside, which is really awesome. Now this chicken ranch was built for use in the best little whorehouse in Texas. Yeah, I said it and I'll say it again. Texas. It's also been used in Beethoven's